Alright, so let's see, what else? How about files? Well, files are pretty important, right? So go ahead and exit out of here, go back to being root. Let's cd to home Georgia. So I have all sorts of nonsense in the root directory, as do you if you set up this. We added some more stuff to it, so you're in the setup. So let's just get a clean directory here. Since we created the user Georgia, we've got a directory in the home folder. So let's just cd there so we have a nice, again, clean space to work with. So everything in Linux is going to be a file. Absolutely everything. A device driver is a file, a disk is a file, a user is a file, everything's a file. So that can be a little bit confusing, but unless you're, I guess, doing Linux system programming, you'll never even notice. So you don't have to worry about it. So let's create a file. More traditionally, we think of files as like binary or hex or text or something we can work with or that the operating system works with. So let's just create a little text file. So one way to do that is the touch command. So I'll just call it myfile. Now if I do an ls, there's my file that I just created. You can also create directories. So mkdir, make directory, and I'll just call that my directory. Now if I do an ls, see our directory is blue, so that's going to be a directory, and then we have my file. So we can also, of course, cd into my directory. Blank right now, and we can, of course, move files around as well. We can copy them, which will keep the original file in place, and we can also move them, which will delete the original and put it in the new place. So for instance, if we wanted to take my file from home Georgia and put it in home Georgia my directory, we could, with the cp command, copy it. Again, that'll keep the original file, and make a copy here in my directory. Remember, it's in the parent, so we could do // to move back to home Georgia and grab my file, and we could do a dot to place it here. We can also, we don't have to use those dots if we don't want to. If that's a little bit confusing for you, you can always just do the full path. If I want to copy home Georgia my file, I can do that. So I can give it the absolute path is what that's called instead of the relative one. So relative to where I am or absolute from the root. Either way will work, whichever is more comfortable for you. I'm going to flip back and forth, honestly. And then again, the dot could be here. So we could make that absolute as well. We could do home Georgia my directory, and we can tab complete, which is nice if you're about as good a speller as I am. So home Georgia my directory, my file. So either way it'll work. So that brought my file here. But since we use cp for copy, that did keep the original my file in place. So we can also do mv for move. So that will, again, delete the original one and move it to the new file name. So I'm going to move my file to my file 2. So basically that just renamed it, since we moved from one file name in the directory to another one. So all we really did there was rename it. Though of course we could, as we did with the CP, move it to a different directory. We can also remove files. So we saw that rm-rf to delete the entire file system. We can do that with a single file. So I could do an rm myfile2, and that file's gone. Possibly we could get it back with some digital forensics, so maybe you'll want to take a forensics course. But there was nothing in it anyway, so not that exciting. But finding people's deleted pictures and such is a fun thing for forensic analysts to do. So, of course, maybe we do want to actually put some text into a file. So let's start with the echo command. So if we do echo and say, hi Georgia, prints out hi Georgia onto the screen. So let's do echo hi Georgia and then use a greater than sign to put that into a file. So I'll call this one my file again. Remember, I deleted my file. Well, I moved it to my file 2 and then deleted my file 2. So let's just recreate my file. I'm going to echo hi Georgia into my file. So that time it didn't print anything out to the screen. All of the output went into myfile. So we can use a command called cat. Of course, we can always use man pages. Cat is short for concatenate files and print on the standard output. I am using Q to get out of the man pages. I'm not sure if I said that, so that's a Q to get out of the man pages. Quit. So I can cat myfile. It says, hi Georgia. But what if I echo hi Georgia again into myfile? And if I do a cat myfile. It says hi Georgia again, but hi Georgia isn't there anymore. It overwrote what was previously in that file. That may or may not be what you want. Sometimes we might want to append to a file, so keep what's already there and just add some text at the bottom. How we can do that, say hi Georgia a third time, and this time I want to put double greater than signs. This is going to tell it to append, so it's going to put hi Georgia a third time at the end of my file. Sure enough, hi Georgia again and hi Georgia a third time. Of course, we might want to do a little bit better than this. We might want to have some real text editing going on. You can see how this would be a really annoying way to create a file. There are actually a few different text editors for Linux, and honestly, I've never seen people fight quite so much about anything in computer science as which text editor is the best in Linux. I personally prefer Nano. A lot of people laugh at me about that because they like VI better, or Vim, or heaven forbid gedit, or Emacs, but some people really like VI, some people really like Nano. I like Nano. I actually started in VI, but I like Nano primarily because I do a lot of things like this where I'm making videos, and if I screw it up, I just lose, 22 minutes worth of video because I haven't cut this into pieces, because I'm, I guess, getting arrogant that I think I can do like a whole module in one shot. But if I was using VI, I find very unforgiving, and I could end up ruining the video, basically. And you may actually see me do that. Luckily, we're learning VI, so it would be appropriate. But I think Nano is much more forgiving. So we'll start with Nano. If you're not familiar with any Linux text editor, I would encourage you to use Nano just because it's easier. But if you want to be one of the cool kids, they seem to like VI. So whatever works for you. So if I say Nano and myfile, that'll open up myfile in Nano, which again is a text editor. So we see the two lines that we have here. With Nano, we can just directly start typing. Like if I wanted to start at the beginning, I could say, hi, Georgia. Hi, Georgia again. Hi, Georgia a third time. And I made it caps for whatever reason. I can use my arrow keys to move around. So pretty typical, like how a text editor you would think would work. How about green gumdrops? I don't know why I always say green gumdrops. And I have to, like, make lists. I always do colors. I'm not sure why. And then what I can do, you can see there's some specials commands you can do down here at the bottom. Like, if we do Control W for where is, that'll search. Obviously, in something this small, don't really need to search for anything. But in a longer file, we might. So I could search for blue. It found blue. So it highlighted that line. And if I put in like purple not found. So we can search our files. We've got really long configuration files for programs or devices. The search can be rather nice. To get out of it, it says Control X, exit here. And save modified buffer. Answering no will destroy changes. So if we say no, it will delete all our changes. If we say yes, it will save the file. To say no, so an N instead of a Y. So we can do the same thing with VI, another editor. So VI, myfile. So again, it opens up, and since I didn't save the changes, I have hi Georgia again and hi Georgia a third time. VI is going to be a little bit different. If I just start trying to type hi Georgia, well, I didn't get an H, and then when I typed the I, something interesting happened. I got insert mode here. Oddly enough, in order to insert text into a file with VI, you have to be in insert mode instead of command mode, which is the default, and hitting the I key is what puts you in insert mode. So, now that I'm in insert mode, I can say, hi Georgia, 2.5 times, and then I can get out of this to go back to command mode. I mean, as long as I'm in insert mode, I can type just normally. I can hit escape, and you see that insert goes away. And then, you know, if I keep typing, oops, I just got rid of something. What did I just do? A whole line just went away. What command did I hit? Well, I actually hit DD, so I hit D key twice, so that's, I guess, delete the whole line. DD. It's also just dump, whatever. So DD will delete the entire line, so DD again, that'll get rid of the highlighted line. Of course, I can't just start typing again, but I can do the I again to go back into insert mode. And I could say, hi Georgia, another time. Escape to get out. There's certainly other commands besides DD to delete a whole line. I like DD because I often have lines I need to delete of shellcode that we'll see when we exploit development. So, you know, it's not so bad if you just remember that you need to be in insert mode and escape and don't end up hitting any strange commands by accident when you're not in insert mode. For instance, you know, I hit 2Ds and that goes away. And then, you know, that could be rather hard to recover from. Also, to save things in VI is a little bit different. What we actually do is shift and then colon. And we see we get the colon down here at the bottom. And we need to do this in command mode. Then we want to say W for write and then Q. So it's going to write, so it is going to save the file. And then it's going to quit. So hit enter. And that did save our changes this time. So again, I mean, whatever you think is best. There are other ones as well. I mean, there's even some graphical ones. But either knowing Nano or VI, if not both, is certainly worthwhile. You may find yourself with only command line access on a Linux system on a pen test. You might need to edit something, and being able to do it all from the command line is certainly worth knowing. You know, they both work. They're both commonly seen on systems, so you should be fine as long as you know one, but whichever one works for you.